Every generation asks the same question: what will change the world next? Sometimes, the answer is obvious only in hindsight. Railroads connected continents. Electricity transformed industry. The internet connected humanity. Bitcoin introduced an entirely new way to think about digital ownership. Each arrived with skepticism. Each divided opinion. Each challenged long-established assumptions. Yet history reveals something remarkable. People rarely recognize a transformational system while it is still being built. Instead, they recognize it after it has already changed the world. The search for the next Bitcoin is not really a search for another cryptocurrency. It is a search for the next system capable of reshaping civilization. Transformational systems rarely begin with universal belief. They begin with uncertainty. The first railroads were considered unnecessary. Electricity was viewed as expensive. The internet was dismissed as a tool for academics. Even Bitcoin spent years being misunderstood. History follows a familiar pattern. New ideas appear before the world has a place for them. The technology evolves, the infrastructure expands, the ecosystem matures. Only then does society begin to understand its true significance. By that time, the conversation has already changed. The greatest transformations are almost never obvious at the beginning. They become obvious only after the foundations have quietly taken shape. Most people focus on the asset. History focuses on the system. Gold was valuable, but mining transformed economies. Oil became important, but energy infrastructure transformed civilization. The internet created famous companies, but its greatest achievement was building a global digital economy. Bitcoin introduced something larger than a digital currency. It demonstrated that trust itself could be engineered through technology. Whether one believes in Bitcoin or not, its influence extended far beyond its market price. It inspired new conversations about digital ownership, distributed systems, financial infrastructure, and the future of value itself. Sometimes, the most important innovation is not the product people buy. It is the new way of thinking that follows. No technology changes civilization by itself. Every transformation requires an ecosystem. Ideas need engineers. Engineers need infrastructure. Infrastructure needs investment. Investment needs confidence. Confidence grows through adoption. The internet needed fiber networks. Cloud computing needed hyperscale data centers. Artificial intelligence depends on semiconductors. Every revolutionary system creates opportunities far beyond its original purpose. This is why history rarely rewards those who only observe the headline. It often rewards those who understand the ecosystem growing beneath it. Because the world's biggest transformations are never isolated events. They are networks of innovation, expanding together, quietly reshaping the future. The phrase, "the next Bitcoin," has become part of modern culture. But history suggests the world is rarely searching for another asset. It is searching for another foundation. Railroads became the foundation of industrial expansion. Electricity became the foundation of modern manufacturing. The internet became the foundation of the digital economy. Cloud computing became the foundation of artificial intelligence. Every generation searches for the next breakthrough. Yet the greatest breakthroughs rarely replace the previous foundation. They expand it. Civilization grows by adding new layers, not by erasing the old ones. The next great opportunity may not look anything like Bitcoin, but if it changes how humanity creates value, builds businesses, or solves problems, history may remember it the same way. History whispers before it makes headlines. Long before the world talked about artificial intelligence, data centers were expanding. Before autonomous vehicles appeared on public roads, semiconductor manufacturing was accelerating. Before cloud computing became essential, fiber networks had already crossed continents. Infrastructure moves first, products follow. Public attention usually arrives last. This pattern has repeated for generations. The visible revolution begins only after the invisible preparation is complete. The world's biggest transformations are often hiding in plain sight, not because they are secret, but because few people are looking beneath the surface. The future will not be built by one invention. It will be built by connected systems. Artificial intelligence depends on semiconductors. Semiconductors depend on advanced manufacturing. Manufacturing depends on energy. Energy depends on infrastructure. Infrastructure depends on investment. Investment depends on confidence. Confidence depends on understanding. Every system strengthens another. That is how civilizations evolve, not through isolated breakthroughs, but through networks of progress advancing together. Perhaps the next Bitcoin is the wrong question. A better question would be, which system is quietly becoming the next foundation of modern civilization? History reveals another pattern. The greatest opportunities rarely appear as opportunities. They appear as problems. A world that needed faster communication built the internet. A world overwhelmed by information built search engines. A world demanding limitless computing built the cloud. Today, humanity faces new challenges: exploding amounts of data, growing energy demand, increasingly complex supply chains, an aging population, and machines expected to make better decisions. Each challenge creates pressure. That pressure drives innovation. Innovation creates infrastructure. Infrastructure creates industries, and industries reshape civilization. The future is rarely invented because someone wanted something new. It is built because the old way is no longer enough. Headlines compete for attention. Infrastructure competes for the future. When billions of dollars are invested, not into products, but into factories, power plants, fiber networks, data centers, and research laboratories, something much larger is happening. These are not investments measured in months. They are measured in decades. Civilizations build infrastructure when they expect the future to depend on it. That is why the most important signals are often invisible to everyday observers. The next great transformation will not begin when everyone starts talking about it. It will begin when the world's infrastructure quietly starts preparing for it. Every generation believes the greatest discoveries have already been made. History has never agreed. The search for the next Bitcoin is ultimately the search for the next foundation, the next system that changes how humanity creates, builds, connects, and grows. Some will emerge from artificial intelligence, some from energy, some from biotechnology, some from industries that have not yet been imagined. But they will all share one characteristic. Before they transform the world, they will quietly build the infrastructure to support it. Because every new chapter of civilization begins the same way. Not with headlines, not with hype, but with opportunity has never been predicting tomorrow. It has always been understanding the foundations being built today. NEXNET, the architecture of modern civilization.